Good afternoon, Muskegon.
Good afternoon, Muskegon.
This is Tony Williams.
And Chauncey Williams with What Do I Do Now? Your guide to credit, debt, and planning for financial success with 103.7 The Beat.
All righty. Survived another week.
That's right.
Of the Michigan weather.
Michigan weather. Yes, we have.
Yeah, man.
It was warm earlier, wasn't it?
Man, it was like almost 60 degrees.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, it was.
And the next day you had to have a coat, hat, and the wind was blowing.
The next day it was freezing outside.
Right. It's like if you don't like the weather in Michigan, just wait a day, and it will definitely change.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here. We're here today. I want to commend Muskegon Big Red Boys basketball team for having a great season this year. It was fun watching those guys and seeing them grow and being there. So I just want to give them a shout out. And Muskegon Heights also because they both put it in. Both groups put it in. Coach Del Ricas and Coach Guy are really building something positive, building strong character and strong men in the city. So I appreciate those two guys.
Yeah, because their jobs are not easy.
Please.
From the standpoint of the day-to-day things that coaches do for kids that we don't give them enough credit for.
That ain't in the stat book at all.
Okay. And then the political part of the game that these coaches have to prepare their kids for and have them play through the adversity of dealing with grown folks.
The game inside of the game.
Right.
That sound like what we're gonna be talking about today on our show.
Oh, okay.
The game inside of the game. But it's from a financial realm. Who are the key players, how to interview the key players, and how to come at the lenders.
Right.
So like a coach would do, how to deal with the referee, the one gonna make the final call.
Right.
The loan officer when you're buying that new car or that new home or condo or apartment. Who makes the final call is who you're trying to talk to, and how do you go about doing that? That's what, and I think you spurred that last week when you gave an example of the car that the lady bought. Can you reiterate on that?
Right. It was the
I think it was a Malibu or something.
Right. She had the car. She had purchased this car brand new, and it was like 2002. And she's one of those ladies that just take pride in everything she does. She babied this car, religiously. That at 90 days she had the oil changed, tires rotated, went right through the book as far as all the maintenance is concerned. So it was a very good car. But she's now elderly, and she's a lady of faith. So she thinks that everybody is going to treat her accordingly. And unfortunately, that's not true. So she had taken this car down to a dealership in Grand Haven as for a trade-in, because she had it for almost 14 years, and she still works. So she wanted her a nicer car, and they gave her $500 for this car. Okay, and the car was in pristine condition. And when she told me, it's like I need to call these people and find out why they gave her $500 for this car.
And it ended up selling it for how much, $4,500?
Yeah, it was something like that, Chauncey, like $4,500 that they made off the car. And I actually did talk to the general manager, and he gave me this spiel about, he was looking out for her best interest, and, they don't, prey on individuals like that. And I told him, you're full of it, man, because the numbers don't lie. So you could have given her more. And the ironic part to it is about 3 weeks later, I got a phone call from a car salesman that used to work at this dealership.
He quit or something, didn't he?
He quit and told me that he remembered me calling down there and checking the manager about that situation. And he said it happens frequently. And he didn't really want to be a part of a dealership that had that reputation. So that just, led me to believe that they do it to anybody that they can. And it was unfortunate they did it to a lady that didn't deserve it. And I was highly upset about it. But again, that's about that relationship that you develop with a lender, reputable auto dealerships, financial institutions, things like that. It's important when you're out shopping for automobiles, loans, homes, whatever.
Yeah. So that's one case that you had. I do the credit restoration. So a lot of times I build a lot of personal relationships, Tony. It's like I'll help somebody and I'm always communicating with them still. Because when you're in a business like this, they gonna always call you after they buy insurance from you.
Oh, absolutely.
Or after they get their credit repaired, or if you help them in that capacity, they trust you.
Yes.
With their personal well-being. So I helped this client probably about a year ago. They ended up relocating to another city, and their credit score is probably like 500. So they got to the point, they did some things that I recommended, some habits, as we talked, probably like once or twice a week. And their credit score got to like 777. Been on the job for like a year and a half or so. And they said they wanted to buy a house or something. I was like, well, no, don't buy a house. Try to look for a condo or something. So they ended up hiring somebody or something and ended up finding a property. Didn't think too much of it. And this person ended up being able to purchase their condo. And I got a text message the other day, and I was just talking to them, say, I got some good news for you. I was like, what's some good news? And they say, I got approved for the a condo or a home loan, and I got it. And it was
Okay.
like, they sent me pictures of it like almost 6 weeks ago. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I did everything you said. And I was like,
confirmation.
Yeah. I said, what do you mean? He said, I did everything you told me to do when it came to interviewing the lender.
Okay. What's that process like?
And I brought a couple of steps today, and it's just amazing. And I was in school today talking to my students, and we was talking about how many words you can read, and just looking at the numbers. And I was saying the more words you add to your vocabulary that you understand the meaning, the more knowledge you acquire. Mm-hmm. And so this person today has a home loan off some knowledge that I just gave them on something I read years ago.
Okay.
Off a process, and this is protocol. So I just want to share that with the audience today, how to interview a lender and how to go about going in there. So I got about 10 steps.
So,
and
before you get into that, but I think what you're saying is that the phone call, the text message was confirmation to you that if you follow the script.
The script. That's what I got in my hand.
It's proven that it will work if you do
work.
everything that is in the process.
That's right.
So that's powerful.
Yeah. So they say they getting ready to clean their storage out and everything. I said, hold on, that loan done.
Okay.
When they clean their storage out and they somehow they finna get everything together, I already know the check is in the mail, and they about to they got some keys in their hand. So that's just a good thing. Seeing that person go from sub 500 score all the way to the point to be a homeowner. That's what I'm all about. It's a good thing.
So the process they used today, was it a credit union or a bank? Who did they develop this relationship with?
This particular person, I knew a lot of the information because when I deal with my clients, and I keep everything confidential, but
right.
This person had a relationship with their credit union. That's the first thing I told him. I said, well, you can call a realtor or one of those banks and see, but it's a process still how you go about it. Mm-hmm. So they ended up dealing with 2 people, but they only had their credit report pulled once.
Okay.
And they went in and they asked several questions, and one of the questions is, can I speak to the loan officer, like the manager of the actual loan? Who's going to be doing my loan? Mm-hmm. And they asked the person. The first thing is just having that message already ready on what you want, what your credit is like, how much you want your payment to be, mm-hmm. and how much you could put down. Knowing that basic thing right there, that's key and critical.
Right.
So that takes it to the next step. But then, not only that, letting them know that you're serious about your credit, that you don't want your credit shopped everywhere.
Okay.
Credit inquiries kills the credit score. Like you can go one place, because in the end, all it is you're in front of a loan officer. In the end, you're in front of a person that's looking at you and looking at your finances and passing judgment to the point of saying that I can approve you or I can disapprove this loan. Mm-hmm. And so this person was credible enough in their relationship, like you said, when they were able to get the loan.
Okay.
So
they went prepared.
And I got some notes, and I just wanted to share those with the audience. But the first thing is just preparing to have your message ready, knowing what you want, how much you can afford, what the property is, knowing if you've probably been inside of the property, mm-hmm. knowing all the specs and everything, the size of it, the square footage, just knowing, and having that knowledge. Then secondly, if you're dealing with different lenders, if you're dealing with a bank and you're dealing with an actual lender, a home loan lender, like a Quicken or a company, being able to interview them and knowing that between the two, who gonna do their best to get the loan. Because a lot of times in the past, I even seen that I was able to get some loans just based off the relationship, because that person was willing to work a little bit harder than the next one.
Because he knew you.
Yep. Or sometimes based on how large the company is, they'll look at smaller loans like, I don't have to do all that work, and it's not going to make that much.
Right.
So I've noticed that over my years of doing this stuff, is that sometimes you won't get treated like a person. You get treated like a piece of paper and a number.
You're an account number.
Yep.
That's where they look at it.
And then a lot of times you're dealing with people that's not at the end. Like when you walk into a car dealership and you deal with a salesman, he's not the one that's approving the loan.
No.
And that's who you need to talk to.
Okay.
That's why I said loan officer. In the car dealership, they got loan officers.
Yeah. Finance manager.
Yeah, that's the guy where they say, oh, this is the car you want? And they take your paper, they take your credit report. And one thing is, I recommend do not get your Social Security out until you get reached to the terms that either you brought one printed with you already. Mm-hmm. They say, all right, here you go. This is one that's brand new. I just had it. It's only 20 days old. I ain't adding nothing to my credit report.
Your credit report.
Would you look at this?
Okay.
And approve this, or can I talk directly to somebody that's gonna deal with my loan? And then you go over the specs and what you want to do. And most of the time, I've seen that then we're able to work with that, because when you don't do that, you give somebody your Social Security number and they're a salesman. What's their job?
To shop that information
and to sell, just to sell you something.
Yeah.
Not to protect you, not to care if your credit score don't go down. You say you want this car or this home, I'm gonna do my best way possible to get it to you. Mm-hmm. But if you don't give me no information and I see that you don't have no knowledge, I'm gonna shop it as many times as I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, so if you give them that information, and say, for instance, there's like 3-4 lenders that they want to use. Now, each one of those could potentially run your credit, right? What you say adversely affects it.
Yeah, but then it goes back to the what I said earlier, where if you're the loan officer,
okay.
So like, if I'm the salesperson or the realtor or whoever dealing with the situation, if I got your credit report,
okay,
I can easily pick up the phone and say, all right, I got this client's credit report in front of me. They got this number. They've been at our bank, or they've been buying from our institution for years.
Gotcha.
So if they got that relationship, that person can go on the phone and say, they got their whole situation already laid out in front of me. I got their credit report. It's a recent one.
Okay.
They don't want their credit report pulled. They don't want them in crash. Or you could do this, like you just said. You could say, okay, well, if you're going to pull a credit report, can you supply them with a letter that say you're going to remove that inquiry off?
Okay.
So you can request that too.
Okay.
Because I've seen this, man, and it's like a homicide to somebody's credit report. When you can see it, like, oh yeah, I was trying to buy a car. It's like pages.
Really?
It'll be like 25 inquiries
for one transaction, basically.
Yeah, so you just trying to get a car, okay?
Right, one car.
But then you might go to this place, they might not have the color you want.
Uh-huh.
Or this place might be like, they want to charge a little bit extra. So you trying to shop, but you shopping your Social Security number
Every
around.
time you make a move, they run that report at all these various lists. Okay,
so
gotcha.
I recommend for a client to say, all right, I'm pulling this credit report this month. And see, when you pull it, it's still an inquiry on your credit report, but it's personal. They don't see that one.
Gotcha.
So when you pull for yourself, so you pull that one. Now I got my credit report armed in my hand.
Take it with you.
I'm taking this with me, and it's not 30 days old.
Right.
So I'm going to reputable places that I got good relationships with. Say, here go my credit report.
Okay.
Can you help me out?
Makes sense.
I've been cashing my check here. I got 2 bank accounts here. Can you help me out?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, like you said, the credit union earlier when we went on the air. They have in the end, they have a board.
Right. There's a board that basically okays all the loans that come through the institution. And 9 times out of 10, there is a loan officer in the credit union that processes all the loans. And based on the strength of how, your credit history is, when it goes to the board, they can already have the stamp of approval by that individual, which makes it a pretty non-eventful process.
Yep. So that brings up the key of the credit guidelines. So different places have different credit guidelines.
Okay, right.
So depending on your credit score, like we talked about bankruptcy before, some places like, no, we don't work with those. So it's good to know the credit guidelines when you interview somebody for a loan. And because like you said, you're going to have this property for the next 30 years or next 10, next 15, or you're going to have this car for the next 6 years. So you telling me you're not going to interview them about what you about to buy?
Yeah, long-term commitment.
That take too long. I don't want to get no pen and pencil out and ask Tony about this, if these questions about this loan. If he can do A, B, and C for me, I'm not gonna do that. That's look embarrassing if I go in there with a notepad.
No, I think you crossed it. You checked it earlier when you said when you walk in those offices to those individuals and you come prepared, and it's like, I'm serious about my credit. That is going to bolster the decision about whether or not you're going to get that loan, because they get it, that you get it. You understand how important this credit thing is in today's world, and you are taking every step to protect that credit score because it means so much when it comes to going out and purchasing products.
Right, but and that works.
Yeah.
And just looking at that situation, like you could interview, like take your one credit report, you could take it to 3 different places. So you sit down with them, and you got this series of questions you're gonna ask them. You
Right.
know? What's your credit guidelines? Would you help somebody that had a recent bankruptcy? What can get me the advertised commercial financing I saw on TV? What score do I need to have? How old I need to be? Those questions like that.
Yeah.
So when you sit down and say, well, but then if you get to the point where they're like, yeah, they keep on saying, let me get that social security number. Get your social. That's one you need to cross out.
Right. That comes with the signature on the application that we're gonna consummate this deal. Right?
Yep, that's right. So like that means that if they're gonna do that, that means that you got the deal going. They said we need to just pull one to attach to your deal in the end.
Okay.
So, but if they keep on asking for that number, you already know they're not serious.
Okay.
So, but if they say they're willing to work with you after you interview them and say, all right, I chose you because I called 3 other companies, and you actually invited me in for this interview to buy this car or buy this house from you. So I'm gonna sit here and talk to you about it.
Makes sense.
And I'm gonna do the deal with you because you, out of the other 2 places I went to, they weren't willing to work with this copied credit report I got, and they weren't willing to do the financing that you talking about.
Right. The terms of the loan.
Because your credit guidelines are different than everybody else's. Because you found that out because you did your research as a consumer.
Okay.
So it's deeper stuff when you're looking at the thought of just like being able to say, okay, I'm gonna get this car, I got it, I'm straight, and take me a picture and don't have no insurance, and so you missing all the T's and the I's, and it's like you got the product, but then you paying too much.
Yeah.
Or they done got you on the interest.
Yeah. Or
they done hit your credit report 30 times, and now you can't even go finance nothing else. You got to wait 2 years because you got so many inquiries on your credit report.
Right.
It takes about 2 to 3 years for them inquiries to come off. So now you stuck with that on your credit report if you don't have the right knowledge. So it makes you think like, man, your credit score done drop because every time you get an inquiry, that's a drop. But then plus, if somebody else pull your credit report and you trying to just do something like get I know they do that for cell phones.
Okay.
So they pull your credit report with a contract. But no, a lot of people not doing contracts no more anyway. But when you look at small things like that, small items, and they're like, well, I got a lot of inquiries on this credit report. Like, what you been trying to do? Like, well,
Red flag.
Yeah, what you just pull your credit everywhere you go?
Yeah. And again, that's back to what you were saying. They don't understand this credit game. Okay. You got to be an educated consumer to take advantage of everything that's possibly offered to you.
You're right.
You're right. That's good information, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
So taking notes, and then next is like, I'm an educator, so like grading the conversation. Like, how does this person treat me when I come in? Like, did I have to, if I scheduled a phone interview, did they like put it off, say, oh, I'll call you back, I got other business, or were they available at that time, or they told me to come in their actual dealership office or into the mortgage company or to the credit union, and I was able to sit down with them for 30 minutes amount of time so they can go through the whole loan application with me and let me know my terms and everything. That's also like, you have to grade that. Be like, okay, well, I trust this person with my business because in that car, you're going to put your family in that car. You're going to live with your family in that house. You're going to celebrate holidays. So it's a real serious matter that we don't take too serious.
Very true.
And it's something that it needs to be gone through thoroughly to say, all right, I feel good with parting with this money because I feel like this person gave me the best relationship that I know that I can ask any question and no stone won't be unturned. I'll turn every stone so we can deal with this situation. So just thinking about that and having that client send me that text message, I say, wow, she used the list.
Okay.
So it made me feel good. It made me want to sign on the dotted line after I dealt with the person because for one, she had the relationship. Secondly, she had some things she had paid off from the company already.
Okay.
And then when she went to them, they told her like we'll give you a loan for that amount to buy this property. We trust you. You done bought some things. You done bettered yourself as a person also. The person extended their education. They saw this person grow financially. So they saw it. And they were a big, significant partner in their growth.
Okay, right.
So
That's great, man.
it's just things that you look at and you that's the people you cheer for. Like,
yeah.
You know, you somebody made the right decisions and then now they living a life. They calling me saying, hey, I'm about to be in a new crib. Like,
Right.
So I'll be at that housewarming party too. So
Okay, good.
some blessings will come to others, man. So it's a good thing. So just looking at that, it helps you make a better decision on which lender to start with. That's all it is. Because it's so many out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like the March Madness going on right now.
Right.
And I'm watching news feeds of it.
Okay.
On break or I at the school. I'm like, it's just
constant. It's constant.
This loan, this home loan, these rates.
Yeah, refinance.
Yep, they send you so much, and you like, yeah, I'm just gonna go on and click that, and just go and fill out the document without even talking to nobody. Put my social security number in there. Oh, it's encrypted. You good? We safe. We're a safe company. So I done talked to a video, not a person.
Right.
And they say you get the lowest terms. Get
Rocket,
yep.
the Rocket Mortgage. You don't even have to leave your house. You know, get all your information in right off the computer.
Right off the computer. Fax it into us, scan it.
Yeah.
PDF it.
One of them said, do I have to talk to a person? No, you don't have to talk to a person.
We send you your documents. It's already signed, Tony. Come on. Here go your house.
Not good.
Do the keys come in the mail too? They have to have you in a title company. I know they will see you to a title company, but when you think about that, that's like, damn, that's a no doc kind of loan when you just doing everything online.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
Yep. And then you don't get to talk to a physical person. So if you got some questions and you like, let me go email them.
Right. Come on. I'm old school.
And you never saw a face.
Not with my money.
You never had a conversation until you done gave up.
You made the commitment.
Yeah, you done gave up your social security number when you put your information in the computer already.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Don't do that at all. Just leave that stuff alone and just deal with the actual person that's in charge of the money, not the salesperson. Because when you go to cars, places, and when you go to home loans, when you buy home loans, because you buying them, you're not getting a home, you buying the house, so you financing it. You are make sure you deal with the person that gonna help you get the keys. Mm-hmm. Who's that person? In the finance department for the cars, the loan officer for the actual for the homes.
Right.
Those are the two people in the end. Realtors fine, title companies fine, but if that loan officer look at your credit report and they don't approve it, I don't care how nice you are or whatever, it's their job to push your loan through.
Right. So
if they see everything is right and fit and you follow protocol in the script, they'll open the door for you. So it's just talking to the main man in charge. Mm-hmm. That's what this is all about. Just getting to that angle.
That impression.
Yeah. So just then the next one, as I said, X how many inquiries will show up on your credit report, and we talked about that, saying that if you get your Social Security out to somebody that was short with you, like I'm looking at this car at this dealership, I want to get this one. All right, we got like 7 of them. Let me get your Social Security number. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you like, here go the keys, go test drive it, do whatever you want.
Right. When you come back, we'll have some numbers for you.
We'll have some numbers for you.
Not good. Not good. Grinding the guy. He
got you.
He's selling cars, man.
Yeah, he's selling
building
cars.
Relationships.
So don't fall for that. Do your homework. I got this list. I give it to you if I have to. I email it to you. I might have to post it somewhere, for somebody to be like, hey, this is what you need to do when you in an interview, because I just see it happening so many times, man. From when we talked about the insurance, like I can't imagine buying a car without insurance.
Yeah, first. I mean, that's part of that process. And again, I think, when you walk into that finance guy's office and say, you know what, these are some of the vehicles I'm looking at. I've also shopped to find out which one offers a better insurance rate based on the vehicles that I'm looking at. Also says that this person is on top of their game. Yeah. Not only though they understand the laws of this finance game, but they also know the laws of this insurance game.
That's right, and that brings up something funny. I remember in the past I always had to update my insurance with my the people that I finance my vehicle with. So
Okay.
I was I'm thinking that. So I got a letter in the mail. They're like, Chauncey, you don't got no insurance. I'm like, yes, I do.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I ain't never been in no trouble. So I just go in my file cabinet, pull it out, and I fax it to them, the declaration page.
Right.
But I'm like, wow, I ain't did that in a couple years. They right. I gotta let them know I got some insurance.
That's it. Because how it works is between insurance companies and the financial institutions, when you're added, the lending institution is added onto your policy as a lien holder.
Yep.
Okay. Now, anytime you switch, you might switch policies and go with another company. Okay, and forget to give them that information. Well,
or buy a new car.
Or buy a new car. The company that you're originally with, they'll send a cancellation notice out to the lender. The lender says, oh, they let their insurance lapse.
So they send you a letter.
Right. In actuality, it didn't lapse. You just switched carriers and didn't notify them or add them to your current policy.
Yeah.
So they're all together in protecting each other's interest.
And that happened to me the other day. I'm like, I had this car for 3 years, but I only sent y'all the insurance when I first got it.
Right.
So they're like, we need to know if you still got insurance. Like,
Okay.
And I forgot. I remember doing it in the past every year, like letting them know like every time my 6 months come up.
Right, your renewal.
And I sent it. I faxed it to the dealership too, just because.
Okay.
But like this year, I just was like, so they said like, you don't have no insurance. I'm like, don't y'all know? Like,
Yeah, so maybe the insurance, well, with us, they'll call us.
okay.
And we'll actually send it. And that brings me a story. It's like I had an individual come to my office, and this blew me away. And he got one car, right? And he, went through the whole process. And he came back and he asked me, he said, so what happens if I want to add more vehicles? I said, you just call us up, give me a VIN number, and we can add it. And, the premium will be adjusted accordingly.
What if I want to ride around with one license plate on 5 different vehicles? That's what he said. You need a dealer's license,
No,
bro.
come on.
That's what he tried to say. But go keep on going, though.
So he called and he put 2 additional vehicles on the car, right?
Uh-oh.
I mean, on the policy. So, okay, no problem. And every time that happens, they'll send you out an updated billing. And he walked in the office one day and he said, hey,
man.
I got this bill, man. And it's, it went up. I said, yeah, because you added a couple more vehicles. He said, no. The price supposed to stay the same from the day when I started, because I asked you, could I add more vehicles? And you said, okay. And I meant at the same price that I was paying now. I was like, brother, come on, man. You can't do me like that. You have to pay for the cars you insure.
You serious?
I
thought he was gonna come with the let me just get this one license plate and put it on
this
5
is
different
the
cars.
truth, man. He thought he could add all these vehicles and the price stayed the same.
Lord help me.
And I thought, man, I got to do some educating.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, this is Michigan.
Dude, that make you know.
Okay.
If they really find out how they being charged for stuff,
Oh yeah.
you would think about a lot of stuff before you buy it.
Yes.
Man,
Don't
it's
go out and buy these cars, and you better check with your insurance agent.
Yeah, first.
All you need is a VIN number. They can tell you what it costs to add that vehicle.
That's why some of them cars that they be looking like, oh, I'm gonna get this kind of car. I'm not gonna mention no luxury brand.
Woo.
Oh, this car 5 years old. I'm about to get this luxury car. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be nice. It's only like $7,000, but when it came out, it was 42 or it was 56,000. But now it's about 3-4 years or 5 years old. It done dropped down to like 12 or 10.
Right.
And you think like, I'm good. Go get insurance on it, find out.
Yeah, and the tag. See what the tag. State of Michigan. Okay, we
Go
used to
get
go
some
by
insurance.
weight. We used to go by weight in this state as far as what your license plate cost you every year, and they changed it about 15, 20 years ago, and they went with the value of the car, and it's quite expensive to buy tags in the state of Michigan, along with insurance. I had a lady ask me today. She looked on her policy. She said, "Who is MCCA?" I mean, because they hitting it for like $150. I said, that's the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. And I think, I thanked her for reading her policy.
That's it.
Because there's a lot of things in these policies, man, that you pay for and you really think it's the insurance company that's getting you. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's the fees that the state of Michigan are charging you to own a vehicle.
And you can't move them because I call every 6 months trying to do something.
Can't do it.
I like how is my age different? Is
Can't do it.
I only drive 15 miles every day. I only drive 30. I always try to do something. They're like, come on, Chauncey, every year you do this. Every 6 months. I haven't been in an accident. Like I got something now where I can I can get a free claim. Like,
Yeah. Everybody's going to the claim free.
But I don't need
claim
that.
free discount.
I don't want that.
And the other game that these automobile finance companies are using now when it comes to insurance, they will actually have the comprehensive and collision coverage on the vehicle in their names, and it's rolled into your note.
That's a luxury cars, right?
Any car. I'll tell you why.
Who did that? That's it. When they passed that law.
Well, it's a loophole, okay? So in the state of Michigan could care less if you have comprehensive and collision on your car. It could be a brand new car. State of Michigan don't care. State of Michigan says you will have no-fault insurance.
To help the people that get hurt in the car.
Right.
Okay.
Which is property damage, personal liability. Okay. So the finance company gives you this insurance for collision and comprehensive.
All right.
You then must go out and purchase a policy of Michigan no-fault insurance, okay? Because what they're saying is that in the event that you don't go out and buy the Michigan no-fault, you basically driving dirty and you tear that car up, they're going to get paid because they carries the insurance on it. So every month you pay your note to the finance company, you're also paying that insurance for comprehensive and collision. Now, you tear that car up and you hit somebody in the process, you get sued. The insurance company is not on the hook for that. That's a personal. That becomes a personal issue because remember, you didn't get the no-fault insurance.
So that they would do that in a subprime type of situation, wouldn't they? With
Yeah.
bad credit, and like saying, all right, you can get this. They've been posting them on the internet like bad credit. Come get the car. You can get this brand new, this and this and that, because they trying to make sure like, oh, you ain't got to pay no insurance. We got you. Just get no fault. Get the little no fault.
Get the no fault.
Go to LA Insurance. Get this.
Get that no fault because they're protecting their interest in that vehicle.
So you just want to ride a nice car and not really want the car back.
They don't want the car back, but if you tear it up, they want to get paid.
They want to get paid. That's the new game.
That's the new game.
That's how they advertise it. If you got real bad credit, you can get this car.
Yep.
And the note won't be too extremely high because they're like, go ahead. If you go,
because it's going to be for 7 to 8 years.
Yep.
You know, I know people that get cars, man, that stopped running years ago, and they still owe $3,000-$4,000 on the car. But yeah, that's the new ticket for the car dealerships to stay in business.
Yep, and that all goes back to what we were talking about today. Interview. I'm gonna go over the 10 steps again for so we can end today's show. First one is prepare a rehearsed soundbite. What you gonna ask them? Know what you gonna ask them if they're gonna look at a pre-printed credit report. Don't let them pull your social security number unless you know that they're gonna watch the inquiries. Always ask about the credit guidelines, who they approve, what's the expectations. Take notes. You might look strange. Get you a little sticky notepad. Write it down. Grade each person. I say look at your top 3 people that you want to get financing from, whether it comes to a home or car. Get the top 3 that you would think you appreciate and you trust. When appropriate, ask if they will review a recent credit report. Go in with a copy already. Have an actual copy. Make a decision which lender to start with. So once you make that decision, now you're ready to take action. Say, okay, you can go and pull a credit report. We could do this, A, B, and C, but it's going to be where you can get it off your credit report, the inquiry. He's going to already know or she's going to already know. Ask if you're going to give them your social security number, ask them how many, because they might be one of them lottery places because your credit might not be so good. Where it's going in a lottery and it's going to be 20 inquiries. It's like they're going fishing for your credit. And just, again, guard your social security number, and hey, till you get what you want, never give up, and keep on building your credit score. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today because we talked about buying cars and looking at financing, but most importantly, it's basically the relationship and who you deal with, Tony. I just really feel that it's like that, and once I deal with the right person, I can keep on going back to them, buy everything from them because I know that I'm gonna get what I want because everybody gonna make some money off of you.
Oh yeah,
but you got in the transaction. Get treated the best way possible.
Okay.
Where you feel that I got the best deal and I negotiated this.
Right.
Have the power. The power's in your hands.
Good. That's right.
Yep, so
good stuff, Chauncey. Good stuff, man.
Yep. So if you want to reach me, I'm on Facebook, Credit and Debt Help on Facebook. Chauncey Williams, WhatDoIDoNow.biz. That's the website. Tony here with the insurance. You can give him your number, Tony.
Tony Williams, Farmers Insurance, 752 Pine Street, downtown Muskegon. Phone number is 231-903-0314. And we welcome questions about anything at all in the world of finance and insurance. So please don't hesitate to contact either one of us.
Yep. I'm Chauncey Williams.
And I'm Tony Williams.
This was What Do I Do Now? Your guide to credit, debt, and planning for financial success with 103.7 The Beat. 0.7 The Beat. 0.7 The Beat. 0.7 The Beat.